The offer. You have a civil engineering degree from the Universidad de Guadalajara, a wife, a daughter who just turned 3, and a salary that covers the rent but not much else. You designed drainage infrastructure for the municipal government for 4 years. Culverts, water mains, retention basins. Honest work that nobody noticed unless it failed. A man approaches you at a conference in Tijuana. He's well-dressed, not flashy, deliberately understated, the way men with real money dress when they don't want to be remembered. He tells you he's seen your thesis on soil displacement and load-bearing tunnel structures in clay-based terrain. He says his company is developing underground logistics infrastructure along the border, private sector. The pay is 400,000 pesos for the first project, more if the work is good. That is 4 times your annual salary. You ask what kind of infrastructure. He smiles. The kind that can't be permitted through official channels. You sit with that sentence for 3 seconds. You think about your daughter's face. You say yes. You tell your wife it's a private construction contract. She asks no questions because the number you tell her makes questions feel dangerous. The first tunnel. They drive you to a warehouse in a colonia south of Tijuana. Inside, a team of 12 men, laborers, not engineers, are waiting. You are the only person in the room with a degree. You are also the only person in the room who could be replaced by violence rather than expertise, and you understand this immediately. The tunnel begins beneath the warehouse floor. It needs to reach a point 800 meters north across the border, emerging in the basement of a commercial property in San Ysidro, California. You have worked with underground structures your entire career. Never anything like this. The soil profile is unstable, the water table is a problem, the ventilation requirements is significant. You spend 2 weeks on calculations before a single shovelful of earth is moved. They are impatient. You explain that impatience is how tunnels collapse with men inside them. They let you work. The tunnel takes 7 months. It is 800 meters long, 1.8 meters high, reinforced with timber and steel, equipped with a rail system, ventilation shafts, and electric lighting you wired yourself. When it is complete, a man walks the full length and comes back and nods at you. You have built something extraordinary. You feel the pride before you can stop yourself. That pride is the first thing the cartel takes from you. They take it and they use it to own you. The second tunnel. They pay you the full amount, on time, in cash, delivered to a house in Guadalajara by a man who waits while you count it. Then they tell you about the second tunnel. You say you have a family. You say one project was the agreement. The man who first approached you is no longer the one you deal with. This man is younger, and his eyes are flat in the way that tells you negotiation is not what this conversation is. The second tunnel is more complex, longer, deeper, the border crossing at Otay Mesa beneath a commercial trucking corridor. The cartel moves 200 kilograms of cocaine per transit through your first tunnel. The second will move twice that. You know this because they tell you. They want you to understand the scale of what you're building. They want you to understand that what you know makes you permanently theirs. You drive home. You sit in your daughter's room while she sleeps, and you look at the wall for a long time. You go back in the morning. Underground. By the third tunnel, you are living more days underground than above it. The work has its own logic, its own rhythm. You have become the best in the world at something that cannot appear on a resume. You manage teams of 12 to 20 laborers. You solve problems no engineering textbook addresses. Clandestine ventilation systems that don't surface visibly, drainage that doesn't appear on municipal water records, structural reinforcement using materials that can be sourced without generating a paper trail. You have built 6 tunnels in 4 years. Collectively, they have moved approximately 8 tons of methamphetamine and cocaine into the United States. You do not move product. You do not handle money beyond your fee. You do not attend any meeting where violence is discussed. You have constructed careful borders around what you are. You are an engineer. You tell yourself this. The cartel has a different understanding of what you are. What you are is irreplaceable and therefore trapped, which is the same as owned. What you know. You know things that could end careers at every level of Mexican government. You know which municipal officials approved false permits used to cover expedition activity. You know which border inspectors look away on which days. You know the GPS coordinates of 11 tunnel entry points, including 3 that are currently active. You know the names the laborers use, which are not their real names, but you know their faces and their voices and the way they talk about their families during the long hours underground. You know more about the cartel's physical infrastructure along the Tijuana-San Diego corridor than anyone outside the cartel's senior leadership. This knowledge is your value. It is also the reason you cannot leave. A man who knows what you know and is no longer controlled is a problem the cartel solves in one of 2 ways. Neither involves retirement. The discovery. The DEA and HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, have a joint task force dedicated entirely to cross-border tunnel detection. Ground-penetrating radar, seismic sensors, satellite analysis of soil displacement patterns. They found your 4th tunnel 8 months after it was completed. They found your 6th tunnel while it was still under construction. The laborers scattered. You were not there that day. You were in Guadalajara at your daughter's school recital, sitting in a plastic chair watching her perform a song about rain. Your hands in your lap, completely still, while 400 kilometers away, federal agents walked the tunnel you built with flashlights and cameras and evidence bags. You drive home afterward. Your wife has made dinner. Your daughter shows you a drawing she made of the performance. You tape it to the refrigerator. Your phone buzzes. A number you don't recognize. A voice you don't know. They found the tunnel. They have footage of you entering the construction site from 3 weeks ago. They know your name. They want to meet. This is not the cartel calling. This is the other side. The choice. The HSI agent's name is Reyes. She meets you at a restaurant in Guadalajara, alone, no visible backup, which is either confidence or a lie. She puts a folder on the table, photographs of you at 4 different sites, financial records showing payments you received through 3 intermediaries. She lays it out without emotion, the way someone does when they've done this before and already know how it ends. You are looking at federal charges in the United States, conspiracy to import controlled substances, aiding and abetting a criminal organization. The sentencing guidelines she references produce a number that takes the air out of the room. She then turns a page. Or you tell her everything. Every tunnel, every location, every name, every date, every route, every entry point. You cooperate fully and completely. Your family is relocated. New names, new city, new country if necessary. You serve reduced time or none at all depending on the value of what you provide. You look at the photographs. You think about what the cartel does to people who talk. You think about your daughter's drawing taped to the refrigerator. You think about the fact that the cartel already knows the tunnel was compromised and is already calculating who is responsible. You have perhaps 72 hours before that calculation reaches your name. You ask Agent Reyes for a pen. The debrief. The debrief runs for 11 days in a secure location you are not told the name of. Reyes and 4 other agents, rotating shifts, recording everything. You draw maps from memory, soil profiles, structural specifications, ventilation diagrams. You name the officials you know. You describe the locations you can describe. You hand them the architecture of 7 years of cartel infrastructure along the most trafficked drug corridor in the Western Hemisphere. The agents try not to show what they're thinking, but you've spent 7 years reading rooms and you can see it. This is more than they expected. This is a career case for every person in that room. When it is over, Reyes shakes your hand. She doesn't thank you, she just nods in the way that acknowledges something passed between two people that neither of them will ever fully name. You are relocated 3 weeks later. Different country, different name. Your daughter asks why they have to move. You tell her it's for work. She asks if you'll build something in the new place. You say yes, something different this time.